Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Wednesday, November the 1st, 2017. It is the first day of the trading month. It is also a FOMC day. Um, so it should be an interesting day. We also, interesting, have put in new all-time highs in the Globex up at 2584. We did have non-farm payroll that came out. It didn't really move the ES that much. It did give a nice rotation in gold. That's what I ended up trading. Caught a couple $100, not much there. Each day we come into this live go-to and take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and then assemble our trade plans, or what we call hypotheses. We do have multiple plans because we do not know what the market's going to do. We take a look at what the normal auction would look like based on who's in control, and then we formulate our trade levels and our hypotheses around that, and then we wait for the market to open, see who's in control, what plan best suits the market, and then we execute on that plan. We do not try to create a plan on the fly. If you're trying to do that, you're going to be missing trades or chasing trades. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. It's not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and we do live trading and analysis during the course of the RTH trading session. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see from Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So let's get some of the things out of the way. First of all, we are deep into the earnings. We're waiting for Groupon to come out right now. But again, as it's been pretty much throughout this earnings season, most of the earnings are coming out better than expected. We do have a couple big names tonight coming out after the market. Tesla and Facebook and QCOM and Oracle and GoPro, Fitbit, Yelp. There's a lot of these stocks that could move the market even higher based on how they perform on their earnings. And then tomorrow, the fun doesn't stop. Tomorrow we've got, I believe Apple is the big one. Well, we've got Alibaba, Chesapeake, Wayfair, Yum Brands. Those are all in the morning, and then the aftermarket sees Apple, Starbucks, Pandora, as Cirrus as some of the big names. So we are right in the thick of things, and earnings are better than expected for the most part. Taking a look at the news, of course, the big news today is going to be the Fed announcement. It is not a press conference time, and again, this is winding down. I believe the announcement is going to be made today, but Yellen is not going to be back as Fed, so she's going to go out having probably one of the best runs in as Fed chair in history. We did get non-farm payroll. ADP non-farm came out 235 versus 200 versus 110 previous. So a beat. Didn't really move the equities that much. In 37 minutes, we've got Canadian RBC manufacturing PMI. 52 minutes, we've got manufacturing PMI for the US. And then 10 o'clock will be the next big one, which is the ISM manufacturing PMI. 10:30 crude inventory. And then the FOM statement at 2 o'clock with the Fed interest rate decision. not likely they're going to raise rates. Of course, we've got truck sales as well during the course of the day, car sales, and then we've got Bank of Canada Governor Pelosi speaking again. He spoke yesterday. He's going to be speaking again at the close of the market. So lots of news today. So expecting some type of reaction off of several of the news releases. Of course, the other big news is the fact that overnight we are almost 95% net long in time and price. But the big news is that we have a new all-time high put in the Globex. This, I believe, is the 60. I think it's the 64th or the 65th or the 66th new all-time high put in 2017. This market just does not want to stop. Of course, this is a weak high. This is a blunt high up here. A lot of volume coming off in the 83 to 84. So this is creating a weak high. Value is shifting up. The microcomposite VPOC is essentially right near the prior all-time high at 80.75. It's the VPOC is at 80.50. This is going to be an inflection point and a move back to test the prior high. We're probably going to do that most likely even before the open. Really boxy. It has been our multiple distributions just stair-stepping up all the way all night and creating this trend environment into all-time highs. We still have a measured move above at 87. That 80 and a quarter got taken out with the last all-time high. Pretty big range, and but not a ton of volume. Only 182,000, which is not. It's not light. It's not really light, but it's really not that heavy either. This market's just been drifting up on light volume, and nothing we can do. We have a month open today. Our month open is 25.72.75. That actually is our last week open as well. So we've got our month starting at 25.72. But let's just back up a bit. Want to just go through our normal routine. So bringing up our simple candlestick chart with the 9 EMA, the 20 SMA. I used my paper money toss to do analysis on the different time frames and also to run my sectors and internals. You can see that we're very much in this upward trend. This is 12 months now of one time framing up. October was the 12th month of one time framing up. This is just unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen this in my career, and we continue so far in November. We have to get below the 25.17 to violate the one time framing up, and that is way below us right now. We have a monthly upside ATR target at 26.17. I'm sorry, 26.12. So we still have capabilities to go into that 2600. But the key point here is we're in the upper channel of the upward sloping fork, above the 9, above the 20, good slope, good separation. Trend is very much intact. On the weekly, again, we did come down and violate the one-time framing up on the weekly by that move last week. Not last week, but last week. That moved down to the 41.50. But here we are holding inside of the daily channel. and continuing and putting in a new all-time high. Great slope, great separation, prices paralleling the 9 perfectly. Nowhere is there any sign of this trend being challenged or violated. We did see them break below the 9 a couple days in the last 2 weeks, but they bounced right off of the 20 SMA, and here we are, you know, continuing the trend up. Good slope, good separation, prices paralleling the 9 nicely, and we just put new all-time highs and maintaining inside of this upward channel on the daily. Going to the intraday, we've got a bit of a cup and handle here. A possible another one here. We'll take a look at that, but I don't. Let's just do a quick analysis here. I just want to make sure it's valid. So go from the median to the rim, and it did come back and validate. If we take a look at the extension, again, go from the median to the right rim, 61.8 takes us up to 25.96 and a quarter. Sorry, just writing this in my journal. All right, and then just taking these off. We've got good slope, good separation, prices paralleling the 9 very nicely. Trend doesn't even get challenged until we get down to the 25.76 area. Going to the 1 hour, we put in the new all-time high, and we're coming back now. Got a little bit of a technical gap, move to close the technical gap, takes us back to the 20.80.75, which was our previous all-time high. But the trend doesn't get violated until we get below the 77 on the 1 hour. On the 30-minute, same thing. Come, move, put in a new all-time high, create a technical gap. No Mr. Sneaky setup though, but we are fighting this 9 EMA right now, trying to break below it. If we get below it, I'm looking at that 80.75 as a primary target. Going to the 15-minute, we have come down, and we are testing below the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA right now on the 15-minute. Of course, we're running out of a little bit of a steam. There'd be nothing to pull back into this flag right here and come back and test that prior all-time high. On the 5-minute, you can see that we are starting a intraday downward trend. But again, this is on the 5-minute. You're going to catch the wiggles. There's going to be trend changes much more frequently on the smaller time frame. So if we take a look at the structure of the market, we are going to be gapping up, and gap rules are going to be in effect. It's not going to be a huge gap, but the close is down at 72.50. So let's say we open right here at the 81.50, and our close yesterday was 72.50. So our half gap fill is going to be approximately 77. Let's take a look at yesterday. I forgot to do that. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was an open auction just outside of value, just inside, but inside a range. A move down to the 69 to the 68 area. We were using the primary target down here at 68. I thought they'd come down and close the gap, but they bounced right off of the VPOC. We were looking for responsive buyers to step in down here. rotate us up, take out that overnight high, and continue the auction up towards that 77.75, which was one of our primary targets above. They stalled out at the 25.50, sorry, 75.50. Very, very balanced inside day. Basically filling in this LVN area right here. Very strong kurtosis around the VPOC. The VPOC is right there at the month open, as it was in the month close from October. And then we based here and we broke out of the balance that we created in the Globex and went to make new all-time highs. So not a lot to guide us up here. We do have a measured move up into the 87. We now have another measured move on the cup and handle up at 25.96 and a quarter. We've got this 78 area, 77, 75 area that could be tested on the open with the move down to close the half gap. How big is the gap as it stands right now? 81.75 minus 72.50. Oh, sorry. So about a 9.25 point gap. That I forget. Just let me pull that up really quickly. Sorry, I should have had a look at this. I don't have that study available really quick. I was just going to check the gap, and I'll do that before we get to the RTH session. I'll have to find it. I'm a little late to my desk. Of course, the last accepted price before the breakout was up here at the 72.50 area. It's where they tried to hold value when they came up here and put that prior all-time high in at the 76.75. So any weakness that we see, any push into the prior day range is likely to come to the 72.50. Now, because of the Fed and because of the news, it's going to be very hard to gauge the auction, in this environment at new all-time highs. But let's just start moving our numbers over. Our overnight low is down at 71. Our daily ATR, 20 period full session average true range is running at 11.76. So 71 plus the 11.76 gives us an upside daily ATR target of 82.76. That's obviously already been broken. So we're already in range expansion. As we've already expanded this above to the 84, and that's going to be our unequalized all-time high. Remember that all-time highs put in the Globex are generally equalized by being retested in the RTH session. Globex all-time high. And then our half gap fill is going to be, again, it'll have to be adjusted depending on where we open, but right now it's right about 77. And off of the overnight high of 84. Our downside daily ATR target is down at 72 and a quarter. All right, where's my daily down? Oh, I used it as the daily up. So this gets moved down to 72. This gets moved down to, what did I say? 71 plus 11, 76, 82.75. This is a very valid value area, so we have to use the value area high and the value area low as trade levels. 75, 50, of course. The 80, 75, prior all-time high, and then the 69. This is pretty simple because of the fact of where we're trading. The problem is there's no price acceptance and rejection here other than what we've done in the Globex. So we do have a LVN right here at 81.50. So I'm going to move this up to 81.50 and then target the 80.75 as a target below. It's also right one tick above our Globex VPOC, which doesn't look like it's going to shift. It could shift to come up here in the 83. And then we have another LVN down here at 78.50. I'm actually going to use the VWAP at 79. And that's it. And, not much will change down here. We've got the 65s down here, and then the 63s. So opening up, gapping up. So two things we got to look at. First of all, if we get any type of open drive or open test drive, you do not want to fade the drive, the impulse wave. That can be very dangerous for your trading account. So we do have that possibility as a gap and go day. But my main hypothesis is an open auction out of range, a move down towards the half gap fill. And somewhere between 77 and 75.50, I'm looking for initiative buyers to step in and push us back up into the 80, 75 area, chop around up here into the news, and then based on the news, a push up into the 87 area, taking out the all-time high in the Globex and putting in a new all-time high. We do have a monthly up here at 26.12. This is our monthly ATR up target. We have the weekly ATR based off the low of the week of 65.50. Our upside ATR is 26.01. So our second hypothesis, of course, is going to be an open auction out of range, a push up into the all-time high of 84, and then putting in a new all-time high somewhere between here and 87, finding responsive buyers, rotating us down towards the gap, okay, and then chopping into the news in around the 77, 78 area. And then based on that, they push down or push up. And again, it's hard to say what's going to happen once the Fed announcement is made. And we've got another major ISM manufacturing in between as well. The third is going to be gap rule days as a possible gap and go. Failure to close the half gap, push up into the 84 and go sideways into the news, and then based on the news, either a move up into the 2600 or a move back down into balance in around the 72, possibly even down to that 68 area. Hypo 3 is a open auction failure to take out the all-time high, come down immediately, come down and chop between the 77 and 75, fail, come down to the 72 level into the news, and then once the news comes out, either push up or a flush down into the 61 area, possibly even testing this 55, 75, 56 area. I know this doesn't really, give you much to go on up here. Just remember, scene of the crime, 80.75, half gap fill with the naked VPOC down here and the naked close at 78.50. We're gapping up over a naked close. This would be the primary target down for Hypo 1 and Hypo 2, after a push up. So, I'm thinking that we'll get the pullback, but I'm going to be watching the open just in case there is some type of a open drive to the upside, and I won't try to fade that. I'll just wait for them to come up here, balance out, and then try to find a pullback to get long into. That completes our pre-market on the ES. Just taking a look at gold. Gold back right into this basing area and this composite long-term price acceptance area. This is the most traded price going all the way back to 2008, October the 24th. We're trading right around it again. Depending on what goes on with the news today, again, same levels as we've been the last 5 or 6 days. 72 is our warning line. 68 is our over under. Below 68, look for the push to 63, but 63 not likely to hold, and probably going to free fall down into that next big target below, down at the 48 to 50 level. Anything above the 78, if we come up and accept the 78 above the 75, 80, then look for them to push higher into the 83 level, and anything above 83, we're targeting that 91, 93 area, and a continuation up into the 1300s. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.